Hey, how's it going everyone? It's your friendly neighborhood Nintendo, and in this video we're going to be going over 25 quick tips that I feel like will really help you out. So I actually grouped these tips into different categories to make this video a little bit more easily digestible. So for example, you'll be seeing certain groups of tips like time-saving tips, or must-know tips, or furniture or storage tips, etc. So hopefully you enjoy the format of this video. And if you could do me a favor at any point at this video, if you feel like it is worthy of your like button, please do hit that like button to help me out. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the time-saving tips. So are there times when you made your farm plot a little too big and you don't end up using all of it? And so you're going to take your shovel and then go and start digging out all of these holes so that you can, well, have that free space again? Well, instead of going through each of these holes one by one like this, you can save a lot of time by just going into your furniture and look through any big item piece that you see, which in this case, I'm just going to choose the enchanted bed. And then you can go and place the enchanted bed in these spots where the holes are, and it's going to clear it up. And if I go back and do this to every spot, it's going to keep clearing up the holes at a much faster pace than you were going to do going through one by one. Just make sure that when you're done, you actually go and exit out and leave the bed or the item that you're using as is. Or else if you end up taking it back right away, these holes will not disappear and you'll have to do this all over again. And once the holes are gone, you can go and take the bed and remove it and back out. It will save and you're good to go. All the holes are gone. Now there might be some times when you're looking for specific characters, and yeah, you can go around your entire village and look for that character. But if you want to save some time, just go to the main menu, go to your map, and then just look for the face of the character you're looking for. So if I'm looking for Mickey Mouse in this case, he's actually right here next to his home. If I'm looking for, let's say, Merlin, he's also next to his home over here. And also if you want an easier way to kind of guide you to where they're at, you can just click on their picture here and it's going to flash. You can back out and now you're going to see like this pixie dust, or this light that's going to guide you straight to where the character is. Hey Mickey. Now you might be designing and building out your island the way that you want, and so you might be wanting to remove some of these paths that are on the floor. Now you can go to your furniture tool and now you're in your design mode, and you can just select that tile or that flooring spot here, and yeah, you can press Y to just remove it. But something easier so that it deletes it all through one click of the button, you can select it and hold down the Y, as you can see, or remove the entire pathway for you. Now when it comes to cooking, you can actually come to Chez Remy's and just cook whatever you want, but there is an extra animation when it comes to cooking here at Chez Remy's. As you can see, it does take this animation of Remy kind of doing his excited movement right there. But let's say you want a faster way to cook just because you are mass producing, let's say, souffles to make a lot of money. Instead of cooking here at Remy's and getting that extra time added in, go to your own cooking station, and whether it's inside or outside your home, you would be able to cook those same items at a faster pace. So you can mass produce at a much faster pace, save time, and then make more money over that time period. Now this is probably my favorite tip. Did you know you can actually run faster? So all you have to do is eat a cooked meal. Doesn't really matter what meal, but it has to be a cooked meal. And once you eat it, you'll be able to see your stamina bar turn gold like that. And you could just leave it that little gold, or you could fill it up all the way so it's fully gold. And you'll be able to see on the bottom right there, it says that you're well fed and you have an increased movement speed. And it might be hard to notice, but yeah, I am definitely running much faster than I was before. Now, one way to save resources as well as money, just come to the ratatouille realm. Take some of these ingredients here and then cook these items here for a fully cooked meal, and keep eating until you have maximum stamina. Just like that, we have a full bar of gold. And of course, you can't take the cooked items or the ingredients you got from here back to the real world, but you're able to take the golden stamina back to the real world. So when you're planting seeds, you water them and wait for them to grow. They do have a specific time on how long it takes to grow. Each vegetable, each crop has their own time. But did you know that there's a way to make the time go by even faster? I'm talking about planting these crops at the proper biome that they're from. For example, the lettuce, the wheat, the carrot seeds can be found here at the peaceful meadow, so that when you go and plant, you can see there are arrows for the carrot as well as the lettuce, which means that you're able to grow the crop much faster in the soil at peaceful meadow. And if I try planting those same carrots or the lettuce here at the plaza soil, it will take the full time that it normally would. Like for example, carrots take 15 minutes versus planting here at the peaceful meadow, where you will actually save a little bit of time. And then the last time saving tip that I have is that you can actually go to your map and then you can see which of your crops or bushes or trees are ready for harvesting. So you don't end up wasting your time running around your entire village area seeing which of the farming locations have harvesting available. So pretty much using the map, I can go around and be like, oh look, I have a bunch of these fruits that are ready for harvesting. I have a lot of vegetables here ready for harvesting, and same thing up there. Versus maybe other areas where it's not ready for harvesting, so I don't need to go into those locations. Now we get into some must-know tips. Like, did you know that you can feed each variant of critter and there will be 2 variants of the same type of critter available at all times? So if we're looking at the squirrels, there will be at least 2 of these different variants of squirrels in the plaza at all times. So right now it's actually after 12 p.m. So the classic squirrel is available as well as the gray squirrel. And then you can feed each of the variant squirrels at least once per day. By feeding these critters enough times, you'll be able to select them as a companion, so they'll be running around with you like a pet. Just like how I have Incredible Squirrel right there. So each biome has a wishing well like this, and you'll have to unlock the wishing well, but once you do, you're able to fast travel to any of these wishing wells. So I can go to this one and just click on it through the map, and it'll take you to that spot directly. Versus having to run all the way here, you're able to get to the spot much faster. So in the map, you're able to go around and click on any of these wishing wells, or you can click the Y button to fast travel and it opens up this box, and you're able to just select by just scrolling over to any of the locations. And you can also go into any of the realms by doing this as well. So I know when you're fishing, you're looking for that circled area so you can fish there. But did you know that you actually don't have to go and fish in the circled area? You can just go to a random spot in the pond or here at the beach. Just wait a while, and then you can click the A button and do the same exact sequence that you would normally do. And you're able to get fishes this way, but the main reason you want to do this for is that you can actually gather seaweed. So when it comes to cooking, you actually don't need the recipe to be able to cook something. So if you find something online saying that if you mix a certain amount of ingredients and it makes this, you're able to cook it even if you don't have the recipe for it. So now we're going to get into furniture and storage tips. Like, did you know that most furniture pieces you have can be placed both indoor and outdoors? So for example, these couches, you would assume that is more of an indoor item, but no, you can actually place them outside. And then another cool thing is that you can actually stack items together. So if you have this table here, I have this bowl of apples, I can just stack it right on top. So for storage tips, you probably run out of room pretty quickly in your backpack. So it's actually recommended that you craft a bunch of these storage chests here. So the cool part about these storage chests right here is that it has its own dedicated inventory. So for example, this storage chest has all of my seeds in them. And then if we look at this storage chest here, it has all of my gems in them. Now when it comes to this vintage looking chest, you might find one that's inside of your home. You can also bring it outside, but you can also craft multiple of these. But the thing about this one is that it has only one dedicated storage. So if I'm looking at the one that I have here in the plaza, you can see all of the items here. And then if I go into my second vintage storage here, you can see the exact same items because they share one dedicated storage. So when it comes to Scrooge McDuck, you're able to order items from him, and you can order clothing items or furniture items. So technically you're able to buy any of these products. But for example, if I want to buy a storage chest, I don't have it in my list here. So what you have to do is actually take one of your storage chests and put it into your inventory. So I'll take one of those regular storage chests and then this vintage one and put it into my inventory, and then go back to Scrooge McDuck, and then go back to ordering items, go into furniture. And then if I look at these storage now, I'm able to purchase the ones I just put into my inventory, this regular storage chest and then the vintage storage chest. And then I can use money instead of resources to be able to get these chests. And same thing could be said for these other items as well, because for example, let's say for that bowl of apples we were looking at prior, I would need to go and pick it up and put it into my inventory, and then it will show up in Scrooge McDuck's list so that I could make purchases instead of making them. Now we're going to get into some life-saving tips. For example, when you're harvesting your vegetables or crops, have you ever run into issue when you're harvesting them and then you accidentally plant? Yep, that's happened to me multiple times, and I end up planting something that I don't want there, and then you're not able to pick it up until it's actually grown. So what I like to do is when I'm harvesting, you want to just drop all of the seeds you have in your pocket. So now I don't run into that issue anymore. Much better. So if there are times when you're looking for certain items and you don't know where they're located, you can go into your collection and then go into the category. So let's say I'm looking for, I don't know, gold nugget. I go into foraging, I go down to gold nugget, and I can see I can find it at the Sunlit Plateau, the Forgotten Lands, or the Frosted Heights. And you could do the exact same thing for the vegetables, fruits, grain, even fishes, critters, and even gems. You probably see a bunch of green or whatever colored chests all around your village. Now these blue ones are actually very special because this blue chest gives you moonstone, which is the in-game currency. And I'm not talking about star coins because that's in-game money. We're talking about real life currency to in-game currency, because eventually you might need to trade in your real life money for these moonstones so that you're able to get the special rewards that might be coming up for these events. So for example, right now you have the Pixar event and you're needing to convert your moonstones into these Pixar stars. And so when it comes to those blue chests, you can find 1 or 2 on your village per day and you're able to collect a little bit of moonstone. If you see the gems on the outside like this, you know for sure that this rock has a gem in it, but that doesn't mean the gems that don't have the gem shung on the outsides don't have gems. As you can see, this gem didn't have one on the outside. Now we're going to get into some basic tips that you should definitely know. For example, you need to get a friendship level of 2 before you can begin certain story or side quests with each of the characters. And you also need to get a friendship level of 2 before you can assign them to a role to give you extra items when you're performing that particular role and ask them to hang out. Something that I'm sure most of you already know, but as you keep leveling up your character, you do increase your stamina bar, which will allow you to perform more tasks for a longer period of time before getting tired. So when you're performing tasks and your stamina runs low and you're not able to do anymore, you have 2 options to be able to gain that stamina back. You can go into your house and you will fully gain your stamina back right away, or you can eat edible items like your cooked foods or your vegetables, your fruits, to be able to get the stamina back as well. And then in the collection menu, you can see how much energy you gain by eating each of these items here. You can even eat fish to be able to gain energy. But my recommendation is that if you don't want to go all the way to your home, you should definitely eat the fruits rather than eat the vegetables or eat fish or eat the cooked meals, because you should be selling those items or holding on to them for quests. When it comes to the fruits, they actually grow back really quickly and you're able to gain a pretty decent amount of stamina, and you're not using any money to be able to grow these again. Now, if you're needing some Dreamlight because you're trying to open up more biomes or you need it for other reasons, you can just keep playing the game and you'll be able to gain Dreamlight. Or you can take a look at the Dreamlight duties here, and they're very, very easy, very simple to complete. And you're able to keep doing these because you can do an infinite amount of these Dreamlight duties, and you're able to really just gain a bunch of Dreamlight. So when you're in the design mode, you could pretty much remove anything that's in your village. Let's say I don't like this tree, I can just quickly go into it and delete it. Or if you want to move this tree to a different location somewhere, you can do that as well. You're pretty much free to design your village however you want. And you can even go to this landscaping section down here and add more trees or more brushes here or rocks or whatever you want. Now you might already know that the wood actually comes from the trees that are around your village. But one thing you probably didn't know is that if you place the trees in different biomes, they will produce different types of wood. So if I place a certain tree in the peaceful meadow or in the plaza, I'm going to get softwood. If I place it somewhere else, I might get hardwood or some other type of wood. Now last but not least, this golden spark here allows you to keep collecting for about 5 seconds or so. So you can keep collecting a limited amount of the crop that you have the golden spark around, or it could be even in the fruit trees here. You can basically keep mashing on the A button and collect as many as you can for about 5 seconds. All right, phew, that was quite a bit. That was 25 tips. I try to make it as quickly as possible, but hopefully they were also pretty detailed enough so that it helped you out. Now, if I can point out one specific tip that I feel like is very important, and that's the Dreamlight tip. If you want to know more details about how you can get fast Dreamlight, then go ahead and check out this video right here. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.